Hey friends, it's Sketchy. One of my fans, Petya, asked me to draw a self-portrait, and I want to do that in cartoon form, so it'll be fun and easy. And as always, I'll break it down into basic shapes. I've got a light pencil to kind of rough in the basic shapes, and then I've got a black ink pencil to choose my favorite lines and lock in the details. What a goofy dude. And when you do a cartoon of somebody, you try to identify the major features that look like that person. Well, one of the things is this crazy hairdo. He has glasses and he's got this hat. He's also got a kind of a cute smile and a button nose, a really small nose. So overall, he's got this oval shape. So let's make sure we draw the overall oval shape. So from here to here, we're just gonna draw his face. So just use your shoulder and draw kind of, and as the more you like the drawing, the harder you push on the pencil. Now, eyes are usually about the center, so I'm gonna divide it in half. And he's not looking straight at us, so his center line, I'll draw a center line, it's gonna be kind of over here. So I'll draw a center line that's over here. You know, his eyes are here, center line here. That means right between his nose where his glasses are and right below his nose, and his teeth are probably on this line. So let's draw right here in the center is gonna be his glasses. So I'm gonna draw a shape like this and a shape like this for his glasses. Do his glasses go right to his face, or do they come over his face? They come over his face, so about to here. So let's draw, kind of measure that out. We measure this out, so glasses, and then these pair here. And let's use this tool, this measuring tool, to find out how wide the glasses need to be. That's too long. So let's make this a little bit shorter. Now see if that's right. There we go. And this will probably be a little bit bigger because it's closer to us. So I'll make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Now the top of his frames are closer to the center line than the bottoms of his frames. So I'll put the top of his frames like right here, and they curve. They're a little bit higher on the outside than they are on the inside. Okay. And they look like a little bit like rectangles. Now these kind of taper down. They don't go straight up and down, they taper. Taper, taper. Now the bottoms are almost where his nose is. So let's draw his nose, bottom of his nose here. And then his mouth will be right about like right here. And it gives us a little room for his chin. Now, if we need to add a little bit more chin later, we can totally do that. So let's draw his nose. I'm gonna draw, kind of looks like a triangle. So let's draw that. Just a triangle for now. And there's a little boink, the top of his nose. Draw the nostrils. You don't see a lot of his nostrils. You see a little curve here, boink, boink. And then the wings of his nostrils, kind of like a little C shape, C shape. And to focus the tip of his nose a little bit more pointy, you can do that by drawing just a little bit of a shape right at the end of his nose. Now it's got a little turned up nose. Now that we know where his nose is, let's draw the bottom of his glasses. And that lines up right at the top of his nostrils. One here, and one here. See how I'm not using my wrist? I'm not doing this. I'm using my whole shoulder. And it gives me these beautiful sweepy lines. I just noticed something, and that is, see how his head kind of comes in here? It doesn't follow this curve. let's make sure we get that right. Otherwise, this side of his glasses looks a little bit too big. So I'm gonna curve that around like this and then bounce it back out right where his eyes are. There we go. Which means I can probably bring these glasses in a little bit more. There we go. Let's see if I can erase this blue line. Sure. Okay. We need to figure out where his eyes are. Interesting. Look at how this eye is really close to the frame here. So I'm going to draw a line like this, his bottom of his eyelid. And he's got a kind of a wide eyes. He's crazy. And then I'm going to draw the iris like this. Because you can see that it looks like his iris is getting tucked underneath this eyelid. Okay, now this side, this is his eye line. So I'm going to draw like a U shape here. You can see his tear duct is a little bit of a way, like this. Kind of comes up. Here's the bottom of his eye, and it kind of comes to about like right here. I don't see the top of his eye because his hair is in the way, right? But I know where his iris is. So the bottom of his eye, I want to make sure his iris is about the same size or a little bit bigger because it's closer to us. It's a circle, like that. And I can see where his hair comes down. So let's make a little note, a little mark of where that hair is gonna come down. Kind of like connecting the dots a little bit. When you know where the measurements are, you can start to connect the dots, okay? And this kind of sweeps up like this. And it comes all the way like this. So let's make that curve. Okay, now his smile. Top lip is pretty flat. So let's make it a flat like this. And it comes out just a little bit on the outside of those irises. So from here to here. And I'm gonna draw from here. I'm gonna exaggerate this lower lip like this. And I'm gonna add a little bit of thickness to his lips. And do a little thickness of his lips there, a little Cupid's bow. Let's add these little dimples and cheeks. They kind of come up to his glasses there. And let's make sure he's got a little chin. So this is where we can add to the chin a little bit. Look like it's like a little round chin that kind of comes up on the sides. A round chin that kind of comes up on the sides. And this usually kind of comes up to where that is. Let's add his hat. The secret to drawing a baseball hat is the very front of the bill right here. So the front of his bill, his arch comes from here to here. And then it comes back. So from here to here's where I'm going to draw. From here to about right here. Now I'm going to draw just a curve that goes over like that. Now this side of the curve comes around like this. And this side comes to the side of his head like this. And I can make that a little bit more exaggerated too. I kind of like that a little bit more. And there's not very much, the top of the brim, you don't see very much of this part. You see a little bit of this part. So let's draw this part. And then we'll see a little bit of it coming out over here. From here, it kind of comes up and over. And then it kind of does that. Let's add the rest of this shape here too. This shape. See how it kind of comes down? Comes down. I think it's that I drew it a little bit squishy, a little bit short. So I'm gonna make it a little bit taller. There we go. That's why I use a blue pencil or a light pencil. I'm gonna erase some of this. So I don't get confused. Okay. See his ear? Boink, poking out here. Let's draw that in here. Kind of points out, and then it comes down around to about where his mouth is. There's your wee. There's his ear. A lot of his ear is being hidden by his crazy hair. And we'll draw his hair in chunks. It's the easiest way to draw hair. The first part of his hair, let's try this. Well, let's start drawing his hair right here where we first began drawing his hair. Okay, we have this one big chunk. We have another chunk that kind of goes, and that kind of comes down here and comes out past his ball cap. And it's kind of thick, so it comes here, covers this part of his glasses. That, and then there's some hair behind his glasses. Like that. And I can kind of do some jaggy stuff there. He's got a few little bangs right here, so I'm gonna go like that. And then this comes down here and around. So it kind of comes down from like here, comes up and around, kind of by his ear. And then there's a big right here, covers this part. Look at all this crazy hair that covers his ear. So I'm just gonna, there's like, think of these as a chunk here and a chunk here. Try to find the chunks. So I'm gonna find this chunk that kind of covers his ear from here. Comes down to by his neck. Got this crazy whoop right here, and his ears here. That means his neck goes like this, and he's pulling his chin in like this, which means we don't see a very strong jawline, but there's one there. Let's draw like this, and let's draw the neck over here. The neck over. It's on the other side of his chin, but it's just right on the other side of his chin. We'll add his shirt sleeve. Comes out just a little bit like this, and then it comes in front. And we'll take his shirt sleeve right here. And let's do this. Let's come around the neck like that. Add a little thickness to that neck. And now let's add his teeth. There's a shape here, a negative shape right there. And then his teeth kind of come right on top of his lip here. Let's add a little bit of thickness to his glasses. We do the outside of his glasses. Now I'm doing Let's add some wrinkles under his chin. And give him a second chin here. I'm gonna give him some specular highlight. And some lower lids. And block in his logo right here. Let's not worry about this. This will take forever. So I'm not gonna worry about this. But I wanna lock in all these details. With a black pencil, we'll choose our favorite lines. This will give us a chance to kind of create some hair and things like that. I'm gonna start with his hair right here. What's fun about using a blue pencil or a lighter pencil underneath is that it creates a little bit of tone, a little bit of interest. Now I'm not making solid shapes now. I'm using these shapes to kind of guide where my pencil goes. And I'm watching the shape to make sure my pencil follows those lines. Now you don't see very much difference between the front of his cap and the top of his cap here, but we know it's there. So we'll draw it in. Okay. And oftentimes I'll turn my page so I can use the natural flow or arc of my drawing hand. So if I wanted to draw like this, it's my natural arc. Yes. And that's how you get these parallel lines. Does it look like me? Kinda. So let's leave this shape, add a pupil, and then start out here where the highlight side is, and then just darken at the edge. And then lighten as you get to the other side, because this light is shining on the other side of the iris. Same thing over here. Pupil, iris, and shading. Light. Draw the nostrils here. U shape right here, and then darken this shape. Very dark shadow. Not very much light's getting in there. And then I'm gonna add a little shadow on these teeth over here, and then pull out my pencil and light. There, okay? So it looks like his teeth are going back under the shadow. Now I can do the same kind of thing right here. For his nose, a little triangle, and add a little bit of shadow, and it helps his nose look like it's poking out a little bit. A little lower lip. My hand goes all over the place. Whenever I look at something, I'm like, ooh, I want to draw that. Ooh, I want to draw that. I'm leaving a little bit of highlight at the top of the frames. Fill it in, except for the very. See how I intentionally leave a little bit of the top of that frame not drawn in, not blackened in. Do that on purpose so it looks a little bit shiny. And sometimes I'll put a pretend glare on glasses like that. Looks like there's glass there. Let's just draw that hair on this side. Now, for fun, I'm gonna create a very dark outline around the whole thing, like this. And this is just a different way of stylizing the art. Just going around the whole perimeter of the drawing, just darkening it in, choosing lines to make really thick. Add a little bit of value. I'm gonna add a little bit of value right here, just by drawing a line over it. Like I said, I'm not gonna worry about that logo because that looks like really hard. Let's add some shadow where his hair is. What I'm gonna use the side of my pencil like this. I'm just gonna follow the arc, the bottom of that. Make sure this looks like there is a bill here. Okay, and now using the same direction of the hair, I'm gonna add the shadow like this. Darken up the major shapes. See how I'm turning the page? But I'm drawing the shadow in the direction it's gonna be kind of dark up there too. See how it looks a little too light there? So I'm gonna like just darken that up a little bit. And make sure that the hair comes out a little bit brighter than the bill there. And I can add a little shadow here too. So there is a sketchy self-portrait. I hope you had fun watching or following along. Hey, be sure to subscribe and make sure you sign up for the Sketchy Fan Club. That way I can send you newsletters of what I'm doing and maybe some cool tips and tricks. Have fun and stay sketchy.